Why are you nervous?
You're making me nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Because I'm back again with the girl who played me from last episode.
That was 4 years ago, though.
That was 4 years ago.
So why are you nervous?
Well, you say you didn't play me, actually.
I didn't.
You didn't play me. So did you or did you not? Now you're admitting that you played me.
I didn't.
Okay, well, the viewers can be the judge of that.
I do make it clear to the guys I'm talking to that I'm talking to multiple people, so they know that they're in competition.
Didn't do that with me. The fuck?
Yes, I did. You were also yes, you were. You knew about the other guy too.
No, he told me, and then you were like, "No, I didn't do anything."
Yes, and I was toxic because I tried to play mind games with you, and I tried to manipulate you at the same time.
So if you want to check out last episode,
technically he gave me blue balls. Just saying.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
You gave me blue balls.
You gave me a hickey.
Oh, so that's giving you blue balls?
Yes.
The fuck, dude? Damn.
Don't go anywhere near my neck. Anyways.
All right. Anyways. Welcome back to the Controvert podcast, where we talk about modern dating, growth, motivation, and crazy stories. Today we have New had something to say. Go ahead and say it. You're venting today about some stupid bullshit. You went on a date with a guy. What happened?
Today?
The guy was a tool?
He wasn't a tool. I would say he's like too nice. Too much of a simp. Doesn't really respect himself.
Okay. So
I just want to know, like, why do men go for women that are rude to them, like more unattainable type thing?
Okay, but let me ask you a question first. Why do women go for like guys who are like more rude to them, and when it's a guy who is like finally nice, how come you don't go for like a guy like that?
I do go for nice guys, but like you can't categorize all women that go for fuckboys, because there are certain age gaps. You know, like, let's say like 22, 25, 24-year-olds. They go for fuckboys because they're fun, they make a lot of money, or they party a lot, and like that's their lifestyle. But like once you grow into the age of like 28, 30, 27, you know, like in the age gap, like you just want someone who's really nice, genuine, and wants to settle down with you.
That doesn't seem like the case, though, because it seems like you're shitting on this guy. You're like, oh, this guy's too nice.
Okay, so the thing is, like, me and this guy, we met through mutuals, right? And he was a really nice person. Like, he had his shit together. He made a decent amount of money. We had the same, like, careers. Not the same careers, but, like, the same goals in life. The same core values is what really important to me. And honestly, like, going throughout the whole talking phase with him, it was more of like he doesn't respect himself, and that really throws me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so
how does he not respect himself if he really likes you and he's chasing you?
Yeah, right? So like the chase is one thing, the respect is different. If he respects himself, then I'm gonna respect him too. If he doesn't, then it's really hard for me not to. Cause if he's out here, you know, like taking shit, like let's say my friends would be making fun of him, saying like, hey, yo, shit fucked up, you're broke, you're poor, you're ugly, all this stuff, and he's still sitting here like, oh, I'm gonna still like do all this shit for your friends, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna cancel this for you,
He makes decent money, right?
I would say so.
Then how come your friends have the jurisdiction to call him broke?
Because there are certain times where he says to me straight up to my face that he checks my Instagram daily, and he said that he cannot afford this girl's lifestyle. My lifestyle is not really that expensive. I just like to eat nice things.
He said he can't afford your lifestyle?
Mm-hmm. So I have this highlight on my Instagram where like I post like very exotic foods. I wouldn't say exotic, but like very high-end foods, like uni, Wagyu, sushi, like all of that. And he said that, oh no, I can afford this girl's lifestyle. And for me, it's like, I don't expect you to. This is what I just post because I think it looks pretty, I think it looks good, and I want to show it off. But for him, it's more of like, I don't think I can afford your lifestyle. I don't know if I can do it. You're way too expensive for me. I really don't ask much but loyalty, communication, and commitment. And he does provide that, but at the same time, the insecurity in men is very unattractive. I like men who are confident. Like, if you're broke but you're confident, then that's better than being...
So you're saying because he has money, like he's makes a decent amount, but because the way he portrays himself,
Yes,
like he's
like
oh,
he's
I'm
very
broke.
insecure, very insecure.
He can't. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. So, I guess a follow-up question is, today he took you guys out.
Mm-hmm.
Took you guys out.
Yeah.
We're talking. Can you
Yeah.
explain?
Okay.
Why?
So
Why?
basically, the story is, we've been talking for a while, but like the first time we actually hung out, we went to a friend's birthday party, and we never really had a one-on-one date. So every time we went on a date, like quote unquote date, it would always be with my friends. So I wouldn't even like consider it as a date. But this time since it's hot outside, let me just put that on the side. Like, since it's hot outside, I need to burp. Fuck. Cut that shit out. But like, okay, so since he wants to see me so bad, and I say like, oh, like it's really hot outside. He wants to go kayaking, hiking, Disney. I'm just like, oh, dude, I cannot stand the heat right now. Like, I just want to do something indoors. And he was like, okay, let's go get like Chick-fil-A or something, And I'm just like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'm not gonna put on like my makeup, which costs around like $60 for foundation itself, $30 for eyebrows itself. Like over hundreds of dollars just to like go on a Chick-fil-A date, no matter how much I like you.
All right, enough of this. Kind of getting too much.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is, this guy paid for your guys' meals.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay if I show your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at that.
So check out my Instagram highlights.
Let's check this.
Not my story.
Oh,
My
shit.
my highlights.
All right. So, this is where he took you guys today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this smaller. Okay. Okay. So viewers, what do you guys think? I mean, not of this ugly photo right here, for the streets, obviously. What do you guys think about the food? Give a definite ballpark. What do you think? How much does it cost? And leave your comment below. Oh wow! When you have to pour stuff like that. Wow. All right. Okay. So enough of this crap.
Okay, just scroll through my Instagram
what I want to
highlights
ask
really quick.
is, all of these entrees, these are not yours, right? Like, you're just taking pictures of your friends and
That's
shit.
why I said this does not matter.
Okay,
Like,
so
my highlights
so
are what matters.
hold up. But the key point here is,
Yeah.
he paid for all of this.
Mhm.
So you brought your friends out.
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down to like go out to like get some free meal from this guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, let's use this guy.
Not use
what's the
it.
point?
Okay, so like in the beginning, like me and him were talking about going on a date, and I said no because I was tired. I literally did not want to go.
Yeah.
And then I put him in a group chat with me and my girls, and they were just joking around saying like, oh, you're gonna bring us, right? Like, you're like like it's just like a joke, a banter thing. And he was like, yeah, I'll take on all of you, like. And he texted me saying, if you really fuck with these girls, like these are your best friends, and I'm gonna take care of them too. And I'm like, you don't have to. I literally texted him saying you don't have to, but he proceeds to do it because he wants to impress me and make himself feel worthy when he knows that I'm already interested in someone else. That's the problem, right? So if I'm focused on him, then I wouldn't mind if he treats my girls out like, it's normal, right?
Yeah.
But like the fact that he calls himself like a rank in my so-called roster, which I don't really have. I only have 2 people on there.
What do you
which
mean
is
by rank? Like, he ranked himself?
like
in your
he
roster
ranked himself as the last person.
that you would date.
Yeah.
So if he knows that he's the last person that you would date, and he's still working all this fucking hard,
Yeah.
then that's what you classify as a simp, right?
Not a
guy
simp.
who's
Yeah,
still
simp. Like,
trying to pay for you, but you don't appreciate him. You just don't give a fuck about him.
I
That's a simp.
do appreciate him at first, but it was to the point where he got way too cocky. Like, the words that trigger me is like,
How's that
oh,
cocky? You said that like he's insecure.
yes,
Being
but
cocky and insecure. Are two
yes,
polar-
he's both. He's both. So like the cocky part plays in when he goes, fuck your main dude, like I'm better than him, I'm the best one, like I'm gonna take over number 1. I'm just like, dude, how about you take the self-respect and dignity that you have and walk away, because I'm obviously putting all my eggs in one basket into this other dude. And I told him straight up, like, communication is key. I told him straight up. And he was like, no, fuck that. I'm out him. I'm out outrun him like a marathon. I'm just like, damn, dude. Like, I don't know what I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, because I gave him an out. I told him I was crazy. I told him I was from Florida. I told him like he wasn't the one. I told him like there was no future. I literally told this guy there's no future with us. I told him that like there's nothing gonna happen. He's like, no, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm just like, I'm gonna have to humble you at this point, you know, because that pissed me off. I don't know why. It just made me mad, because I'm just like, why are you so confident when you shouldn't be? And I'm telling you straight up that I'm interested in someone else.
So in your free time, you like to humble men if they're just like too cocky, right?
Yeah, because the thing with me, okay, one thing I'm gonna say right now that pissed me off is like he tells me that he only went for me because all the other girls that went for him are ugly, and I'm just like, stay in your lane.
If you're humbling men and spending so much time humbling men and humbling a guy like me too, like this host, don't you think you're kind of fostering like an environment where like men cannot trust women, and it also is like already like women cannot trust men, so you're kind of feeding into this, and then now everyone can't trust everyone.
But like
now we have fuck girls.
The thing is like, someone has to be the villain. Someone has to be the villain.
Yeah, but it's like spreading never-ending hate. Like, have you heard that term where a guy, he breaks a girl's heart, and then for every one girl's heart that is broken, she goes and breaks like 100 guys' heart. Yeah. Don't you think you're kind of feeding into that? Don't you think you're the epitome of that?
I don't know, it's so weird, but like I feel like I was put into this world to kind of like give men a taste of toxicity and like self-worth and self-improvement.
So you think it started from men, where they started to fuck with girls like the olden times, the traditional times, like they were like, okay, let's just take advantage of women.
Because what, in my perspective of this current guy, I'm not saying like the past guys I've been with, but it's because he talked down on so many girls that have treated him right, that has treated him with respect, that has wanted to spend time with him, but he chose the person that does not want him, which is me, to fuck with. So I'm just saying, like, why don't you give these nice girls a chance? Why give someone who doesn't reciprocate their feelings and energy towards you a chance? Why? I just want to know why. That confuses me. So please tell me why.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with you. I mean, I think there's some guys, even girls, right? Especially girls. Like, they love the ups and downs. Like, girls, because they get pedestalized all the time. They are always like, oh, this guy is sliding into my DMs telling me I'm fucking pretty. She would rather go ahead and choose the guy who is hard to get. Not necessarily treats her like shit, but the one that is harder to get and would not treat her like she's a goddess all the fucking time. So when, I mean, you see like some girls' looks on their faces when a guy is like complimenting her like a lot. She's just like, ew, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
they're used to it.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? I want something new. They like the ups and downs to a certain degree. Obviously not to a point where it's like all the time, right? Not all the time where she's getting abused. Yeah. So to that point, she would just dip out at that point.
No, I think there's like I did a research on this, not a lot, but vaguely, because I feel like people just love the dopamine rush of going ups and downs, because once they don't get the attention and once they do, it's like, oh my god, it's like a drug, you know what I'm saying? Like, say you're addicted to what's a
sex. Are you addicted to sex?
No, I'm not.
Is that why you blue-balled me?
I'm not. Okay, so sex with women, I require emotional connection.
This girl was straight up in my bedroom. She was straight up in my bedroom, and then she did not give me sex. Fucking blue ball.
You gave me a hickey.
Hey, so, all right, you chose the guy who's like small dick energy.
Sure.
And then he's like, you know, he has that, what you're saying, like insecurity. He gives off those insecure vibes. Yeah. So you chose the guy that gave off more insecure vibes. He's not that, fuck, I'm not going to say too much on this fucking podcast. But anyways, you chose the guy who was like more beta. So why did you choose that guy over like this fuckboy right here? Does it kind of coalesce with kind of the you don't want like a fuckboy, you want a guy who you could kind of control? No.
So wait, what are you asking me?
Are you too drunk?
No. What are you asking me? Like comparison with you and that guy?
Yeah,
that guy.
That guy.
You want me to compare?
That starts with T. Yeah.
Starts with T.
Starts with the T.
Who starts with the T?
The T. Jesus Christ. All right.
That's disgusting. I want to throw up when I talk about him.
Dude, we just talked about that on text. What
I
are you
know,
talking about?
but still, it's
How do you
disgusting.
not remember?
But
The T.
okay.
The T
Ew,
guy.
no, I will not talk about him. He's disgusting now. I look at him and I'm appalled.
Okay,
And if
when
you're
look-
watching
when-
this, you're disgusting. Okay?
Wait, when you look at me, are you appalled?
No.
So you had sex with a guy who, like, you're appalled, and to this still day, you are still appalled by him.
Yes.
So why did you choose a guy who's like more beta bitch and like small dick energy? All that
I
stuff?
think it was because he was more persistent. He was more easy, and he was more local.
Okay.
Whereas you were very hard to get, very controlling, and a lot of girls, like, I would say they would chase after that, but for me, I value my
You like guys who are easy to be convenient for you, right?
yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference?
So I don't
between
like to
this
work
guy, the guy
hard.
that you just went on a date with? You like guys who are just convenient, right? So
Yeah.
isn't that a contradiction to what you're saying?
Exactly, but like that was the guy with the T starts 4 years ago. That was different. The guy now he's very convenient. He's very easy to talk to. Very, like, I could see myself pursuing him if I were to have low standards, basically. But I don't see myself being with him because how clingy he is all the time.
So then back then you had low standards. That's what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I had very low standards. Very low
So
standards.
you speak about like self-respect.
Yes,
Like this guy doesn't have self-respect.
he doesn't.
So when you're sleeping around with all these guys,
Mhm.
and then you were just like with a guy who you didn't even have that much like physical attraction to, or just attraction in general,
Mhm.
isn't that also a lack of self-respect?
Yeah, back then, 4 years ago, I didn't give a fuck.
Good. We as men, we love to hear that accountability.
4 years
Right.
ago, I didn't give a fuck. I moved here 5 years ago. So a year into California, I was just like, oh my God, it's like a candy store. So I'd have no self-respect, no morals, no ethics. I'm going to admit it right now. I take accountability. But
Alright.
now
Good.
I know my worth. So.
Cool. Okay. So you know your worth that this guy who is treating you nice,
Mm-hmm.
he just dropped you off at my house to do this podcast. He just paid for like dinner for you and your girlfriends.
Yeah.
This is not any value. Because
I feel like that is very admirable. Like, I would say, like, it's something I would look in a guy, but the other characteristics he portrays really throws me off. Like, he would bombard me with questions like, hey, do you like me? How do you feel about me? Interrogate me. And it just, like, really pushes me away. Because I don't like to be interrogated. I like to go with the flow. Like, if we connect, we will connect. I don't like to tell him straight up, like, oh, I like you. I have to give you an answer, all this stuff. And he's just, every time. Okay, so I really like an independent man because I'm an independent woman myself. So he's not an independent man, as he says he is.
Okay.
Because so he only has like 2 days or 1 day out of like a week for his free time. Why don't you spend it with your friends, your family, your mom, your dad? Why do you have to devote all the time to me? You know? So
you did mention on text in our group chat, you did mention that he would use his vacation days, all of his vacation days for you, right?
Yeah.
So you don't like guys who like would devote himself to you.
I
like,
mean,
be
not
convenient?
like his whole time, you know? Because I'm just,
Okay, so semi-convenient.
Yeah,
right?
semi,
Okay,
yeah.
semi-convenient. Gotcha.
because I'm just like, don't you have your own life to live? You
Okay.
know? So I like to see you living your own life, doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Why depend on me for your happiness?
I'm just trying to understand it. So like the viewers, especially guys who are committing a lot to a girl,
Mm-hmm.
they would understand like, oh, okay, like I'm giving way too much. I need like kind of a healthy balance. I can't be too simp. Right?
Yeah, it was not balanced. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in the early talking phase, not even dating, talking phase. You're throwing too much at me. It feels almost like love bombing in a sense.
Yeah, especially like with the questions as well. Like he's just like interrogating you
Yeah.
as if he doesn't trust you or not really giving you space. That also shows a sense of insecurity, right? Because he's like, oh, this girl, like, what is the plan? Like, especially like when girls ask guys, hey, what are we? It's kind of like the equivalent.
Yeah,
right?
no, it is. He asked me that, but in a very subtle way. But interrogation, if you know
But for
what
a
I
guy,
mean.
it's very unattractive
Yeah.
for a guy to do.
Yeah. So how would you feel that if a girl you just started talking to,
Yeah.
you guys hung out twice, and then she goes to you and goes like, what are we like, are we gonna be exclusive, are we gonna, it's gonna be very pressuring, it's gonna be very like overwhelming, you don't know what to say, and it's gonna basically mentally push you away.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of guys, when and after they have sex with a girl for the first time, the girl instantly, when she asks, hey, what are we, the guy's instantly like turned off. He's like, what the fuck is going on, dude? He's like, get the fuck out of my house at the point.
Exactly.
He wants her to get the fuck out, but you know, he can't say that because he's a gentleman. Let's talk a little bit about your main bay, because you did mention your main bay.
I don't want to watch this right now. But that's fine. Okay.
All right. So main bay, he's also pretty established. He's also pretty stable and stuff like that, right? Okay. So what do you like about main bay versus like this?
The thing with him is like, he
guy.
knows his worth. That's what I like. He has confidence. He knows his worth, and he keeps me on my toes. So you like the ups and downs then? He never really gave me a down. It was more of like, he would tell me like, hey, like, I know I'm like free certain days, but I'm busy because my homies invited me here, and I miss my homie. Like, he has his own life, basically. He's independent. Whereas the other guy, he's more of like, oh, I have my free days, I want to see you, that's my first priority. I appreciate men who put me as their priority if we're in a relationship, but as in a talking phase, if you make me a priority, then it's just, I don't know, I look down on them for some reason, because why are you making somebody that's not loyal to you, not committed to you, as your priority?
Yeah.
Because that just makes you look very, I don't know what the word is, but it's unattractive.
Yeah, so I guess like in a sense, you kind of like the ups and downs then, because you like to be kept on your toes, and you don't like to have that complete sense of security. So that is in a sense like ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, you're a gamer, right?
Yeah.
So imagine you play a game and it's like a RPG or a solo campaign, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Would you rather play it on easy mode for the rest of your life, or would you rather play it on easy, medium, hard, difficulty? Like, you want to try to challenge yourself. You want to see what you can obtain. You don't want to go on easy mode the whole way. It's going to get boring.
That's the thing. When you are a competitive gamer, you definitely want it to be hard. But as you kind of get older, you start to play the game a little bit recreationally. So you don't really like go in like a ranked League of Legends game. You start to go into like maybe like a normal game, and you just play like for fun. Or you just, like for me, I just go into like a ranked game. I don't give a fuck. I just play whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got out of that competitive levelness of gaming. So I think after a time, yeah, you want some stagnantness. You want some stoicism, some stability. So I don't know, but everyone's different. So, I mean, in a sense, then you're asking this guy to be ups and downs throughout his life. And then if that's the case, then, you know, I'm sure you're aware, but like fuckboys, they like to give that ups and downs. So in a sense, wouldn't you say you're kind of chasing a fuckboy that is in the end going to break your heart?
I don't think he gave me any downs. That's the thing. There was always a lot of ups and a lot of stability is what I'm trying to say. Most of the time, I really enjoy going out with my girls, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm going to go with my boys. Whereas the other person, he'll be like, oh, can I tag along? It's really unattractive. And it gives me like a sense of, oh, you don't trust me going out with my girls, so you want to tag along. You're inviting yourself. It's unattractive to me. Whereas the other person, he'll be like, okay, well, you go out with your girls, you have fun. I'm going to stay out with my boys. I'm going to have fun. And I will still update you, text you, contact you, like keep you updated, make you feel secure. But at the same time, not bother you and suffocate you. I feel like the first guy, my main guy, he makes me feel very secure, but he doesn't suffocate me. Whereas the second guy, he does suffocate me in terms of constant planning stuff and inviting himself out constantly, just asking me what I'm doing, like specifically. I just feel suffocated. And
so what you're saying is that they're both nice guys. They both treat you really nice.
Yeah.
The problem is one guy is very insecure where like he asks you questions, whereas the other guy, he instead of like asks you questions, he's like very alpha, and he's confident that
Yes, I love
you
the
go
alphas.
out to the clubs, you have a good time with your friends. He's not asking you questions all the time, and then he goes out to club. He doesn't expect anything from you, so it's like kind of like freedom. You
Yes,
have your
freedom. I have a lot of liberation with the first guy, cause there was a very Let me just give you one example that happened recently. I went to a club in LA and I was kind of stuck. It was a long story, but I hit up the first guy and he was like, "Hey, you know what? Like, if you're in trouble, like, I'll come pick you up or I'll Uber you back. I'll take care of you," type shit, you know? Second guy be like, "Who the fuck are you with?" Like, getting mad at me. I'm just like, dude, do you not care about my safety? All you care about is like who I'm with. Like, I can't deal with that shit, man. Like,
Bro, I've had girls do that too, man. Like they're like, "Who are you with?" And then I'm like, "Dude, this shit just happened. You're just really caring about like who I'm with and like why I'm out." It's crazy. I think it goes both ways.
yeah, it's like those girls who would text you and be like, "Oh, you don't text me back. What the fuck are you doing?" And you're in a fucking car accident, you know? And then there are people who are like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, I'll take care of you. I'll drive you to the hospital."
Yeah.
You want that person. You don't want a person that'll be like, "Who the fuck are you with? Like, what the fuck are you doing? How
And
the
it's
fuck?"
funny because they
Yeah.
say they care about you.
Yeah.
And they're actually just caring about the relationship. They're
Exactly.
just caring about the relationship of how insecure they are in the relationship. They're putting themselves first rather than your safety. I mean, you worry about the safety first. You could sort out all that other bullshit afterwards, like all that distrust. But, you know, I don't know, man. I feel like that's definitely a topic for another day, too, because some people, they see the stuff that you're going through. For example, I had a situation where I was just really busy. I had all this, like, emergency shit that was going on. I left the girl alone. I didn't really text her that much for about a week. And then I think after the second week, you know, we would send like a text a day, just like one text. And then she got sick of it. She was just like, "Yo, why do you not talk to me?" And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Well, you know my situation. I feel like you're putting your own selfishness
It's very selfish.
of that desire, that fulfillment of a guy talking to you, being there for you. And I feel like if you're putting that first, when I'm at my lowest low, I can't trust you as my lover to be there for me." And I think that's very important.
Yeah. I think it really goes down to the root of it is how people see you as a partner, you know? So like, for example, let's say you're busy working because we're both engineers, you know, like we code, whatever we do all day on a computer. There are certain people that would support us, be like, "You know what, babe, like if you're busy, finish your work and then I'll talk to you after." There are people who are like, "You can't even send a text back. Is it really that hard?" Like it's suffocating.
That's
You know
selfishness.
what I mean? Yeah. Exactly.
They just want their own fulfillment.
So that's my biggest ick, my biggest turn off, basically.
So I guess like to sum it up, then that guy you're talking about, this simp,
Yeah.
he's a simp because like he has insecurity issues, but even though he treats you really nice, that's why you don't perceive it as like an alpha guy who treats you right.
Yeah.
What you perceive as an alpha guy that treats you right is your main bae, right? Not this like, I don't even consider it a side piece because you're not. Did you even do anything with him?
No, I didn't do anything with both of them.
Yeah. So
In a talking phase, I don't do shit with that shit.
yeah, I think that's the difference between a simp
And that's why
a
I
real
left you
G.
with blue balls.
What do you mean?
Because we were in a talking phase. I didn't want to do anything. Just saying.
So you're making it sound like I was that insecure.
No. I'm just saying, like,
guy.
when I'm talking to a guy, I don't sleep with them. I only sleep with them once I start to date them. So
Okay.
yeah, but it definitely stems from insecurity, and I don't know. I think my biggest question coming into here is like, why do you men go for women who treat you like shit?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of normal men would not go for women that treat them like shit.
Uh-huh.
We see that as a red flag instantly, and then we're just like,
Then why
get
do you
the fuck out.
disregard those red flags? Some of the men, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying a majority of the men disregard those red flags. And they're like, "Oh, I can change her.
I'll
I
give you
can
an
be the
experience.
one." Yeah.
This one time, like, there's a girl I was talking to, and then when I was treating her right, and then I was like very honest about everything, just being nice and just like treating her nice, stuff like that. I saw the red flags, but I wanted to keep I wanted to keep pursuing it because I wanted to believe in this girl. I wanted to believe that there was some good. Maybe she would change. Maybe the things that she was saying is true.
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I was giving the benefit of the doubt. And then when I was like, no, like my gut feeling is right. I was like, I'm really conflicted because I want to believe in the best in this girl, but my gut feeling is telling me that there are definite red flags. So I think it's not really like men really want to go for like those types of girls. It's just like we're already in the process of it. Like when I met this girl, it was like I didn't know all of this stuff. The red flags started coming up, but I wasn't sure about the red flags. So once I confirmed the red flags, I was like, okay, I'm out now. Now I'm out. But during the midst of that, I was just like, I still want to give her the benefit of the doubt. That girl actually is the one sitting in front of me.
Are you serious? I was literally listening to him, looking him in the eyes, just trying to empathize, and then hit me.
I feel bad for that. She was actually looking at me in the eyes, like serious, like damn. She was sympathizing with me. I could feel your sympathy for yourself.
The fact that I looked at you in the eyes and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I understand you. I feel you. I feel your pain. And you're like, that girl is sitting right in front of me. And I'm just looking, wow. I'm like, okay.
So that's one of the very outlier cases. But, you know, like from that experience, it's like what you said here. You mentioned something about like being the villain or something like that. Do you want to speak on that before I show it?
The villain. Can you elaborate a little bit more? I feel like a lot of guys, they don't really go through that phase of a heartbreak, kind of realize their self-worth and their values and their morals until somebody comes in and they're like, oh shit, like I'm actually gonna pursue someone else because they treat me better. So I don't mind per se being the villain in like a lot of people's stories, because yeah, all of my exes, they would say to other people like, oh yeah, like I dated NHU, she's toxic, she was crazy, she was, you know, like mean, bitchy, whatever. But in the end of the day, like I made you into a more humbling person, because prior to all of my exes, they had such high expectations. They were so cocky, they were so fully of themselves, to the point where like, oh yeah, like a lot of girls, they would bow down, beg to be with me, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do that. Like, I'm gonna treat you like the way I'm gonna treat you, and if you don't like that, then that's how the relationship always fails, because they end up going for a nicer girl afterwards. Because, for example, a lot of my exes went for way nicer girls who are very submissive, for example, because they went through me and they're like, oh no, I'm not going through that shit again. Like, I know my worth now. So it makes me the villain. But like at the same time, they glowed up because of that. And like, I'm not saying like I'm the problem, but like at the same time,
in a sense, you're sacrificing yourself, and I really respect that.
A
And
little
I really
bit.
respect that you understand that too.
no, like I'm very
Because-
self-aware. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that you're self-aware, and I definitely see that experience that we had, and I go back to it. And I'm like, this next girl, I could see a little hint of her acting like NHU. I have
Yeah.
to get the fuck out.
Exactly. Like, you
So
know what you want.
You've, in a sense, you saved society. You're saving society in a sense. You're humbling
Yeah.
this man. Like, oh, okay, this guy now learns what a bad example of a woman is.
Exactly.
So now he will appreciate the next woman that treats him really right.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's
So the thing with
Next
me
level
is like,
shit.
I know that they, every single guy, they will be heartbroken by a girl. I'll be that girl. I'll take the risk. I'll take the blame for it. I'll be the villain, as long as they come out better. Let's say, I'm not gonna put any names, but one of the guys I dated, he was a very nice guy towards me. He was very simpy, like that guy I just explained, and I try to push him to his limits. Like, I treated him like you need to get your shit together. like I
you
was
did
very
with me.
like I wasn't toxic. I was never toxic.
What? What's going on?
Okay, first of
a
all,
podcast is happening. Oh shit! Welcome to the Controvert podcast, where we talk about modern day.
Someone's gonna break your heart eventually, so I might as well do it so you can find the one. So I'm expected to be invited to every fucking wedding that all my exes like have. But it's just like when I go into a relationship and I see these guys being so over themselves, and I'm just like, I'm gonna humble the fuck out of you. And once I do, they're like, oh, I actually deserve a nice girl, not someone like new. Because it's like they see me, they're like, oh my gosh, so many red flags. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a walking red monument. I'm gonna say that straight up.
Holy shit! Oh whoa!
Like
Title
100%. I'm a walking red monument. So
Damn.
I know I'm a red flag. I have so many red flags, but at the same time, I have a good heart. So if I see you and you don't respect yourself, I'm gonna push you to become better and find better.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
All my exes have been better. I must say that right now.
My impression of you has just went from like all the way to like here.
Because I actually do genuinely care about people. I empathize with people. So when I see people put themselves so low to the point where I'm just like disgusted, I'm just like, I feel so sad and bad for them. I have to push them. Because the way I was raised is my dad was in the military, and he always raised me to be super strong, never show my weakness, vulnerabilities. That's how you get hurt. And I had that mentality in my head embedded for the longest time. So I treated all my exes and my boyfriends.
But sometimes vulnerability
like
is necessary, right, for a relationship, because if you always have that wall that's stopping you from really being open, completely open with that person you love, then you can never get to a point where you are profound.
Yeah.
Like with that person, you have to be deep with that person by opening yourself up, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, your type of ideal relationship, I know you want to keep humbling men and you want to be like the villain,
I
but
don't.
actually
I really don't.
hero in disguise. So what's your plans? I mean, do you want the boyfriend that is going to treat you right and you guys can be open with each other, or you want him keeping you on his toes? I mean, your toes.
This is a very fucking passionate topic I want to take. Like, so I recently dated.
When is it gonna stop, New? When is being Batman gonna stop?
No, it's not about. Okay, so this is the reason why I became back to the way I was. So a few months ago, I dated this guy, and I was very in love with him. I wanted to marry him, have kids with him, all this stuff. Like, we were very serious, and I put my wall down, like straight up down, vulnerability, everything. Told him how I felt, begged for him to like love me the way I should be loved. And since I was his first girlfriend at such a very old age, I was like, damn, I don't know if I can actually change this guy to become the man that I want him to be. But he just basically, when I talked to him afterwards, because we ended on good terms, he told me that he was more excited to be with me and had more interest in me when I was toxic, versus when I was being healthy with him, vulnerable with him, nurturing him, cleaning his room, folding his laundry. He said he saw me as a maid. He said he looked down on me. He said he belittled me. So ever since he said those things, I became back to the way I was.
But don't you think it's like the guys you're choosing? Because the guys you're choosing are the guys who go to like clubs and stuff like that. You like to go clubs. You meet these guys at clubs, right?
No, this guy didn't.
How'd you meet this guy?
Mutuals.
Mutuals.
Yeah.
Mutuals who like to go out to clubs?
No.
Does he like to go out to
businesses.
clubs? Partner?
Business.
Like parties?
Business partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a business oriented guy.
Yeah. He's one of the finance bros, stuff like that. He just stays home.
He stays home.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, when I showed my soft side, when I became nurturing, when I started cooking for him, he started taking me for granted and taking me for, like taking advantage of me, and then started to see me less. He started to see other women that are like at the clubs stripping. Like,
I thought you said he doesn't go to clubs.
Sometimes. I'm just saying, like, he's not one of those guys who really goes to clubs like that. But like dating me, he wanted to go out because I was so much like a mother. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, I'm so tired of being home and working all day, cook and having you cook. Like, this felt like a marriage. I'm bored. I want to go out to a strip club. I want to go, like, have something exciting with my life. Have something toxic. Something, what do you always say? Like, adrenaline rushing. And
Well,
I'm just,
to me, it sounds like he's like one of those guys. He likes to go strip clubs. I mean, he goes to a club like once in a while. He wants to see some titties.
yeah.
He sounds like one of those like crazy guys that's just like lousy and just like likes to do some reckless shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
think,
I don't even go to fucking strip clubs, and I'm pretty fucking reckless.
I know you are.
Yeah, and I don't go to strip clubs. I don't. I mean, that's some really weird, pedophile, creepy, dick energy.
Yeah, he was 37. I'm 26.
Yeah, if you're 37,
I'm
you're still
25.
doing that. There's something wrong. Like,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
as a man,
But I was so in love
or
with this
woman,
guy
whatever, same
that every day I cook him like 4 meals a day, nurtured him.
shit. Why didn't you do that for me? Fuck. I need that
We
shit.
didn't date.
Goddamn.
But I was constantly just cleaning up his room, ordering him food, coming to him, like basically being a mother to him. And he was just like, you're boring. And I was just like, okay, like that changed my mentality so quick. I was like, you know what? Like I tried not to be toxic. I tried not to belittle you. But at this point, I have no choice because now you're starting
Would
to.
you say you're back to, like, I guess, fuck. Would you say you're back to like that recovered state, your normal state?
No.
You still have a distrust for guys now.
Not distrust. I still wear my heart on my sleeve because at the end of the day, like, I'm risking my heart and it's okay because I have one life. Like, I just think of everything as like, it is what it is. And like, everything happens for a reason. So,
But now with this main bae, right?
with him, it's more of like, I don't really see a future with us.
Then what are you doing if you don't see a
See,
future?
that's my confusion right there. I've talked to many of my friends
Why
about
don't
this.
you see a future with him?
He has a lifestyle that's opposite of mine. I really want a corporate guy that understands hard work.
So he's a
work
party
ethic.
animal.
He's not a party animal. He's just in that industry where you're surrounded by rappers, bitches, celebrities.
Shit.
Yeah.
So to me, Nude, it seems like the types of guys that you're choosing is definitely like, you know,
I
a guy
really
likes
don't
to
have
go
a
strip
choice.
club. A guy likes to go to strip clubs. This guy is like surrounded by party animals in that sales, like finance or whatever bullshit it is.
Uh-huh.
That environment, like these are red flags. And I feel like women, you can't really blame men if you're attracted to those red flags.
Yeah.
And then you're blaming men, like a majority of men for it. Like, why not go for like the nerd that plays League of Legends and doesn't go out to clubs, never has gone out to a club?
No, that's the thing. I've done that before. That's why.
And you got bored.
No, I didn't get bored. They got bored of me.
Like the guy who just doesn't go out,
yeah,
never
like,
went out to like a club.
Exactly.
Virgin.
Yes. Not virgin, but he's just very family oriented, stays home all the time, works all the time.
How did he get bored of you?
Because I was too nurturing. I was not toxic. He liked toxic.
So you think all men like toxicity?
At this point, I think so because the way I pull men versus the way I do now. Okay, so back then, I would always get any guy. Okay, it sounds very cocky, but like any guy I had laid eyes on, I would always obtain them in some sort of way because I was toxic.
Being toxic.
Yes. But once I start growing up, maturing, being nurturing, being caring, being more genuine, serious,
I wish
they don't like me.
I wish you were very nurturing and loving to me.
I am.
I wish you were like that.
I post so many cooking videos.
I wish you were like that, and then I definitely would have kept chasing you. Definitely.
But the thing is, like, you're toxic yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot. He said, she said. You know. But
No, you were. So tell me you weren't.
I mean, yeah, you know, I felt like there's a lot of toxicity that was brought out, right? Because you said that you like to be toxic, and I don't think I was ever that toxic to like, probably except for like the previous girl I dated before you. Remember, I mentioned that a lot about that toxicity. But aside from these two cases, the one sitting in front of me right now, and that ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Those were probably one of the most toxic ones that I mean, we had a short time span. That's why I didn't hold a grudge or anything. But that one, it was like we were together for like almost 2 years or whatever. And then for her just be toxic, it hurt a lot more. So with us, we just talked for like what 2 months. That's why it didn't really play that big of a role in like how much I hated you or anything, you know.
Yeah, we can put this in like the podcast where you invite your ex-fling over. But okay, so basically, like my definition is like the reason why I didn't pursue you as much is because you were always playful. You were never serious. I always wanted to have some kind of like deep talk, serious talk with you, and you would always fucking troll around. You have to admit, you were the biggest troll.
I was the biggest troll, yeah.
And like sometimes I can handle that, but like at one point I want someone to talk deep about, like someone to be serious with, but you were always trolling me. I can never tell if you're serious or not.
We're talking pretty deep right now.
Yes.
Does that mean we have a chance now? What? Chill.
You chill.
Bro, holy shit, you're gonna get too fucking hammered. No, you're not staying over. That's just done. Anyways, I like my women caring and loving and nurturing.
Okay, I tried to be that. I remembered. I remembered. I tried to be that.
A lot of men would not get bored of that either.
Do you remember?
Take for example. Okay, do you remember? You know your good friend Saint.
Yeah.
And do you think his girlfriend Stephanie, is she toxic?
Nope.
She's not toxic. So they live a pretty stable relationship. I mean, I just saw them together for the first time last week, right? But they have a pretty stable relationship, and even when we were getting dinner, they were like talking very like cutesy and all that stuff. And I saw like they would probably be together for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I haven't seen the bad parts, but I think just like a few bad apples from how you chose some men, don't you think maybe it could be like the problem of how you're choosing these types of men? That's why they like toxicity. These are the types of guys that like ups and downs because they're the types of guys who go out to the clubs. They like strip club girls who like show them like titties and they pay for that shit, that stupid shit.
I think like the main thing is like I like a guy with a balance. Like they like to go out and they like to stay in because like we're both engineers. We understand how it feels to be in front of a computer screen all day. So on the weekends we like to let loose a little bit, and I want my man to be with me to let loose a little bit. But like if he just wants to stay in and watch movies, like I'm just gonna be bored. But going back to it, like I think Steph and Tran, they really, the one thing I realized is that with all of like Saint, if you're watching this, like all of your relationships, you've never really had that kind of energy, the same energy with like your ex-girlfriends, because the only person who really matches your energy is Stephanie, because she's fun at the same time and serious at the same time. So Tran, all your exes were fucking serious and they were boring as fuck. So that's what I'm gonna say. Stephanie, she's fun and she's also nurturing and she's also serious. She's a very great balance for him. You just gotta find the right person. Tell me I was not nurturing when I first started talking to you. Like, even though the smallest bits of it, like we went to Panda Express and I paid for your meal. I know it doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people nowadays, like girls paying for men's meal, like especially some place like Panda Express.
It means a lot.
But for me, it's me showing, because my love language is acts of service. So I want to show you that I can actually provide for myself and for you at the same time. So I was really trying to show you like my way of being affectionate, my way of showing you that I can be independent and also be very nurturing at the same time.
Yeah.
But you want to be fucking around and play games.
No, I didn't.
Like,
no.
Serious.
Well,
like,
that was at that time. I was like, okay, I don't want to go out anymore. I wanted to show you that I'm not that type of guy anymore.
Okay, but like you were.
I felt like you just like kept like chastising me and going like, oh.
Okay,
shit,
okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Okay, let's talk about. Let's go back to like.
Let's talk about this because we have some miscommunication right now. So what happened? What happened? Okay. What did I do wrong?
No. I want to talk about. I want to agree with you. I want to give in. Okay, I want to give in that. Mm-hmm. There are some guys that they get bored.
Yeah.
Okay, so this whole thing that you were talking about, how like there are men who they like the ups and downs, like the toxicity or whatever. We don't like toxicity, but we want some guys. We want a girl that would match our energy.
Yeah.
Like for example, me, I think what really clicked with me and my last girlfriend is that at times she knew how to be very serious and nurturing and all that stuff. I knew how to be nurturing and serious as well. But when we would go out, we would go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
I like that.
We need that energy as the engineers that we are, who are serious on one side, but on our dual face side, where it's like we like to go party and get fucking ratchet.
Yeah.
We need someone who can match that. And yeah, I mean, I do think that I have probably gotten bored of not girlfriends, but girls I dated that were just like, hey, how are you doing? Like she would just text me and be kind of caring and be like, hey, how are you doing? How was today? Did you have a good day today? I don't know if that's necessarily like
you like a good banter.
Yeah, it's
here
like
and there.
It's like they're caring and loving, but they lack personality. So
the humor.
It's not necessarily I don't want a girl that's not caring and loving. I want a girl who's caring and loving, but also has a personality. I don't want a fucking NPC girlfriend. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm pretty sure like you or anyone else, that we have this mix of like having fun and going out to just staying at home and doing our work. We want that mix. We want that balance. So that's why it's a little bit hard for us to find that one. But
because you have to understand too, like this, because engineers, like we're always surrounded by people who are very straight edge. They're very like in their shell. They don't want to do anything fun, so we're surrounded by them constantly every single day. So when we meet that person, we're like that probably 2% of the engineers that are very extroverted, very like socialized, very fun, outgoing, everything like that. So like it's very difficult to find those kind of people. So when we do, we cherish them. But most of the time with our careers that we're involved in, we find people who are very
either one or the other. Yeah,
basically. So it's very difficult, So like, I don't know. I think going back to is like the time when I realized that like we weren't gonna work out was.
God damn, we're talking about us.
Yes, we're gonna talk about this because I want to get this straight. Because I was driving home. I remember I was driving home, and I was talking to you on the phone about something very serious, and you kept bantering with me. You kept like, not like joking around, and just I wanted to be serious. I literally asked you straight up, verbatim, like, please, like, talk to me in a serious manner. I'm being dead ass right now. You're like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm just like, dude, it gets very mentally draining at that point. I was just like, dude.
I don't remember that, but I'll admit that.
I remember I was at the light.
I was pretty toxic, and I think that kind of that stemmed from you being toxic, right?
Yes. So because if you're toxic, I'm gonna be toxic too.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it started from you because you wanted to be toxic because you at that point you were like, oh fuck, man, I don't want to be caring and loving. I want to be toxic.
But I was though.
Attract.
Was I not caring and loving?
I didn't feel that, and it's like what I said in like towards the end of the last episode where it was like, you asked me what were the red flags, and I said like, there were times where I didn't seem you asked me what were your red flags, and I was like, there were times where you didn't seem like you were actually being faithful and you were actually just talking to me, and you admitted
because you have to understand like the part
that's not caring and loving.
The part of you that I was very interested in was that you were fun, you were very charismatic, you were very sarcastic, and very like we had that banter, but we did not have that seriousness. Because there were certain times where I remember it was my birthday, and
then you were not caring and loving then.
I wasn't, because I wanted to be, but like you kept bantering with me when I was trying to be serious. You understand that? So in that case, like I just saw you as like, okay, like this is someone I can banter with. This is somebody I could joke around with, but I cannot be serious with him because he does not want to be serious with me. So I was under the impression of he just wants to like fuck around with me and like joke around with me, so I'm just gonna take him as that. So that was my perspective, whereas the other guy, he was both.
He was both what?
Serious. He was very serious. Yeah, he was always like I really like you, like there's some shit going on in my family, all this stuff. He opened up. I felt like when we were talking, you really had a wall up. You didn't really open up to me that much, and you.
No, I did. I think I did.
You did
more
little
so
bit, but like it was more so when I asked you to be serious,
it's
you
like,
didn't want to be serious.
yeah, but it's like you said, like there's times where you want to be connected with that person, like you want that balance of fun and like playfulness with being serious, right? So there were times I was serious, but the times you wanted me to be serious, I was not serious. The times I wanted you to be serious, it was, you know, it was just like,
so we were just like
it was just
back and
off.
forth.
It was just our definitions of, or our timing of like expecting each other to be like serious or playful, it was just not aligned. Like the stars are not aligned. Like when we go stargazing, the stars are not aligned. Venus, the astrology bullshit, whatever, I don't know.
We just had that one fight. I
horoscopes.
forgot what the fight was, and I just couldn't like understand if you were being serious, you were bantering, you were being
I was probably
sarcastic. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, like, I'm a very anxious person, so like when you start trolling, I can't tell if you're serious or if you're just fucking around. So I get very stressed. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I'm just fucking around. I'm just like, dude, I literally wasted all that stress and energy just for you to fuck around. So that's when I basically...
Well, that's the thing, because like there's different levels of trolls. There's like very obvious levels of trolls. And then, you know, I would have expected that you knew what a very obvious troll was. It's not like something that's like sophisticated where like I'm trolling you for like days and just like keeping a super straight face. It's more like I was laughing, you know, I would be like laughing like, oh, you know, saying some really stupid shit.
Yeah.
That's obviously a troll. But yeah.
Yeah, but there has to be a balance. And we lacked that balance. Just saying. But moving on.
All right, yeah, we lack that balance, I guess so. We will conclude that part of our toxicity, our mutually reciprocative toxicity lifestyle. And that is done with that.
Okay, moving on.
And this podcast is getting pretty long.
Okay.
I will just end it here. I think we hit a good point. I guess like everyone else who's watching this, if you guys thought like whatever news points were about like insecure men, what do you think about like, I don't know, like being a simp versus an actual alpha male that's a gentleman that treats a woman nice? Like, I don't know. There's so many points. I totally forgot what else they could comment on. But
dude, what were we trying to talk about?
Just comment below. Subscribe to Controvert Podcast. Like this video. And DM us if you want to be a guest speaker, because we are still looking for more guest speakers. And we'll see you guys next time on Controvert Podcast. All right. Say peace out.
Peace out. Thank you.